Right. Hmm. This is literally the truth. Why he didn't like why he never reached out. Technically, that means if he reached out on his own. That makes perfect sense because he wouldn't have known to reach out to you. He wanted to
This
reach
is
out to you
literally the
as a
truth.
real illustrated,
Why?
but on his own. He
That's so
didn't like
important
why
to
he never
know.
reached out. That means we have to appreciate where his heart's coming from. He wanted to reach out because he wanted to. They didn't. Clearly they did. They didn't want him to reach out, but he did anyway. Okay, because it's none of their business. Well, we just well, what I just said was he didn't have to. There was no reason, and you made that. You also made this point. There's no reason for him to reach out. He reached out because he wanted to, because he's a good person. He's a good doctor, but he reached out because genuinely he wanted to reach out. He could have gotten this little message to you in any way, other ways he could have gotten this message to you, but he knew something said he needed to. Well, he's been wanting to talk to you in person, so we're getting there. Of course, that's what my, psychically we get to cheat. Look behind the book. I know you got to live it. That's more difficult. He wants to see you in person. We know that, but the guys definitely said no. He. But what we're just saying, he didn't call you back because they gave him instructions to do it. He did that on his own. Even this message, this class message, that's no reason for him to call you. He could have got you the message. He could have had it relayed to them. One of them could have contacted you. He could have said, "Well, you got what you needed." No, he contact. I mean, my point is this: he reached out to you, be, out of sheerness. He wanted to reach out to you. That's why he reached out. That's what I'm hoping you understand. Sure. Okay. Yes, that's what the spirit wanted him to do. That's how the spirit want you to communicate personally. Okay? Yes. Right. Hmm. Yes. Yes. That's how that spirit said that's how they wanted you two to talk from now on. And of course he was like he can help with the process, with through and with like okay. First of all, we were thinking you were thinking actually the spirit said he can help. You're like what he can't what he gonna do, but he's like no seriously like but this is something from his heart. He himself wants to be a part of your journey because he's your companion. He wants to be a companion. He wants you to two to be closer. Well, he had to prove it to you so that you know that this is, he's not. It's not kidding. It's not just making up stuff. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Indeed. Indeed. And that's, of course, that's what, now this is what the reading said, psychically, this is what they said. He would choose you, and what you're saying is more important because it's you. He would do all these things because it's you. And even want to talk with you, want to meet it with you in person because it's you again. So this was psychic, this what the spirits were saying, this of course through the reading, but just like we said in the reading, you need to hear him say it though. It's great that we're getting this information. It's great that I know because the spirits are letting us know, and I have my methods. I can't prove it, but he will prove it. And now you have your proof. You have your proof that he does care about you singularly on a first name basis. He your Dr. Ali cares about you. Hmm. Of course. I just I did my goal is it wasn't about me. I didn't care about being right. I wanted you to see how much this guy really cared about you. I wanted you to see him beyond the, you say you called him you call him Ali, his by his first name, Dr. Ali. You called him by his first name. I said I want you to see him for him. I want you to see and witness how much he cares about you because he does. I'm so happy that that happened. About time. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Yes. Very kind. Mm. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Exactly. Mm. Hmm. Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Okay. Mhm. No, this is good. This is actually a good thing. This one's good. The only the only path and the path that the spirit wanted you to follow, you are following it. They already said if you happen to bring like if the conversations connected, of course you said I'm gonna tell him what's on my heart. I gotta do it. There was everything that they said. Well, he'll look into it, all that. But most importantly, he said we got to what the reading was really about. When you and he are together in person, that's what you both want. That's what he wants you to see you in person. And now, when that beautiful connection happens and you do this, kiss the eye, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be wonderful. There's a special connection. Hmm. Yeah, it's special. I the keeper of the bones. I'm the keeper of the bones. I'm everybody's Jen. Everybody's favorite Jen. I know people say don't use that word, but true. I'm everyone's psychic friend. It's okay. We talk about the things that in the shadow. We talk about things that we don't talk about with anybody else. It's okay. But that's how do you get what you want if we don't ask? You gotta get what you want, right? And he's waiting. No. You know what? That's what Spirit wanted to always dispel. That's why I'm so no. He responds to you the way he does because he likes you for you. Don't change a thing. You're amazing. First of all, number one, you're amazing. That's why he's attracted to you. You have I've already said this. You have no It's not about you attracting him. You don't have no problem in that area. You don't need anybody. You attracted him from the very beginning. You pulled him in when you weren't even really aware of him. You pulled him in, no problem. Like what? Easy. Well, he likes you for you, and he knows you're brilliant. He loves to you say I don't want to sound this or that, but he loves talking to the way you are right now. This version of you, this is the version of you he loves to talk with. He enjoys your company, and he wants more of your company. He doesn't know how. We're working on that, but he wants to spend time with who you are now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Okay. That's what we were saying. It's not you. He genuinely was like people busy. He really was. And he really is people busy. It's not if he like they said, if he knew that you in the slightest needed to talk to him directly, wanted to talk to him directly, he knowing now, you telling him these things, oh my gosh, you have made his day. He may be busy, but he's like, she wants to talk. Dr. Ali is saying you want to talk to him. You making his day. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Right. I'm glad that you. Okay, so we can skip. We can skip. Well, you know that although he wanted to see you, the past couple of times that he's seen and has known that you were there, he's actually wanted to see you too. So, but you're right about like you told me that even about that, like I wasn't even really there. I wasn't even there to see the doctor anyway, or to see that doctor. Oh, and then you said this Wednesday, you're on top of it. You're so alert. So this meeting, remember, we said, so when you asked me when, last week, when are you gonna meet Dr. Ali? And somehow, I know it may have been talking about another person, but it was saying something about a Wednesday. Wednesday, by Wednesday, you'll be seeing Dr. Ali, just specifically Wednesday, because we were having issues of, well, when do you think I'll get the eye drops? It was like, oh no, those are already ready. It's just a matter of getting them to you. But so far as seeing the Dr. Ali, it's like somehow it's gonna fall. Something gonna happen where somebody, like you said, well, they're not there on Tuesday anyway, or they're not around, or something. You said either somebody's not around or somebody isn't gonna be around, and it'll factor out where you'll see Dr. Ali on a Wednesday because you're gonna want to see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It was either right. It was like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's like no Wednesday. Yep, Wednesday. Everything be accomplished by Wednesday. Right. Right, right. So the needle lands on the Wednesday. So you go in, and now this is where you okay. Remember the conversation where we said, "I wish, I hope that naturally, you're going to bring up everything, right? But it was going to be, of course, well, it's going to be in person. I know you're going to have more conversation, but most importantly, I feel, and I still feel, the nature of the conversation is the fact that he and you are going to talk, are going to interact. And I believe, definitely getting work done and, all of the, I know you're still working on things. Definitely that, but also the personal conversation. I also believe that's going to come out. Like just where he and you are talking, just he and you. That's what's going to happen. He and you just talking as people and privately. We're doing the work currently to make sure that the whole point of my reading in this pathway is for he and you to talk. It is. Okay, now we're moving. Now we're moving further into the reading. I'm so happy now. Now I'm hearing you say it. So now I'm so happy that now we can talk about this. So when I mentioned that he and you are going to have, the conversation, that like how to manage this. Remember, I also said he's going to propose that you able to now get hold of him directly, and to no longer like no like just like he said in his own words. Spirit said it, I related to you, and then now he's saying to you, okay, skip the receptionist, just get the message to me. Say you want to talk directly to me, then it's going to get better. Where you now is saying, okay, what are the best ways you both will come up with to have a direct conversation? Of course, that's through a number or a special case with just between he and you. It's like just kind of like he did with the neurologist. He basically took charge of it, asking your permission, of course, and was already doing the work like himself, and but as a love as a love for you, right? As a love for you, that's why he does it. And then also likewise, even just to have your conversations overall, you two to have the ability to like the messages to channel between just he and you, kicking them off. That's what we were hoping would happen. They're out of the conversation finally, and now we're gonna put the what they call put the lid on it. The putting the lid on it would be okay. Here's a number. Remember, I said even if it was a number, and sometimes if he's so busy, he gets tangled up in business, and it goes the voicemail. At least you got directly to him. He's got the message. It's private. It has nothing to do with them, and he and you are talking. Because eventually, well, I'm going to stop right there. Okay, that is it. Is so it is about the phone number. Yes. Mm. Okay. Right. Oh. Okay. 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 Sure. Mm. Right. Indeed. He will the the goal the the goal is to where there is a number involved from on his part where he can where you can get emergency, like, or as you say privately, we want to say privately, uh to him. That's the goal. That's what's being achieved. This is also, we mentioned this is okay. So I know this one is a bit of a prediction because it hasn't happened yet. Okay, but we did say that this is what would happen, is that he would indeed agree with you that yes, that is a problem, and yes, there is a way to fix it, and yes, and then it resolves both of his or yours, what you both want, and that is you want to be able to talk to him directly. He's wanted to give you his number, a number which you could reach out to him as he has your number, because he never knows when you need him or when you in what situation and what condition. He kind of works in the idea. Well, I'm calling about this, but he wants to talk to you casually. Mhm. Mhm. Yep. Manners. Exactly. Mhm. 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 No. Mhm. Right. This is between he and you. That's right. Exactly. Mhm. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, that's right. Of course. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Right. Mm. Okay. Yes. You nailed it. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Indeed. It's beautiful the way you worded it too, because he's going to agree. Like it's going to make perfect sense. Like you both are going to say, yes, this does. At the same time, he and you are saying it. It's not like no more. You're getting information, and he's thinking one thing, and it's not true. You're thinking one thing, it's not true. hmm You both were thinking totally different things because you were told totally different things or misled to believe totally different things. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, there you go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, true. True. This is deepening the connection, deepening something happening between he and you. Yes, something beautiful is going to happen. It's on its way. Right. Okay. Indeed. Hmm. Of course. Right. Right. Hmm. No, you wouldn't. He will not tolerate it now, especially because knowing that that's you and he wants to talk to you, he's gonna come up with a powerful solution. It's gonna be a permanent one. As you would say, keeping you from having to even go through them. If it must be, which must be, that's what must be, though. Hmm. Indeed. No, it's perfect. Everything added up the way it's supposed to. You're yes, yes. Okay. Yes, it will. It's gonna go off here. It's not. It's everything is gonna stay on top. Everything's gonna be following one thing after another. It's gonna be in sync. It will go without a hitch. That's the expression. Without a hitch. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. And he won't. Hmm. Okay. This is not negative. Hmm. Right. Okay. Hmm. Indeed. This is good. This is very good. The green light. You got the full green light. And the reason why is because you have. We said when the things have come true or have meant what you call play out, then other new things are seen. So you're clearing them out now. The things are happening. So you're absolutely on the right path. You're on the path, the good one. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Of course. Of course. Certain things, like you said, some things need to play out. So when it's around the husband, I get the strong sense that, oh, okay. Well, there's that feeling of, are things okay? The timing of it all is going to be weird because yes, your husband is going to make those changes. Is going to make changes, especially as he's becoming aware of the kinds of changes needing to be made, needing to be had, and by choice. These changes will be by his choice. Now, I skipped two parts because they said that as you are, of course, at home and safe and sound and with beautiful family, that um, Dr. Ali still is showing up as a special love. And then it talks about, the changes. So at that divine timing, to make things even more interesting, your husband does begin to make changes by choice. Of course, they're gradual changes, but nonetheless, but it brings everything into perspective because yes, the bond, your connection, the way you see Dr. Ali is going to truly reveal itself. It's going to become very apparent, like his feelings, then your feelings. Like as in, this man cares about you too, is closer to you, is available to you. Those things are becoming apparent. Oh yes, you're making great moves. Um, and when it's like, let's say your husband, right? Because your husband does make proper changes. He does make the changes that are necessary. Changes that will bring, as you say, for things to get better with him. It's not just, oh well, life is I can endure it. More than that. I mean, like, okay, he's like made some real changes. Like life is comfortable. It's better. Better now than before. Yeah, a lot of work still. It's just gradual changes that your husband has made, but most importantly, he's making those changes. And where I confuse you is that it does it. I mean, excuse me, it doesn't change. No, things between Dr. Ali and yourself continue to progress. That's what I meant to say. At the same time, your husband is making changes, gradual changes. So these are things that are happening simultaneously. Like things that, like for example, it's not that like Ali and you decide, oh, what can we do, and then your husband begins to make these changes. No, your husband is making those changes anyway, and instead of, oh yes, nothing you both can do, or the feelings are just feelings, Dr. Ali and yourself begin to, say, you know what? There are feelings. Yes, we acknowledge them. They're here. But I still see the changes in your husband. I still, in fact, it still reflects that nothing has changed dramatically. Like you're like at home, like your home. I guess the home setting. Like you're still there with your husband, with your family together. Like all of that is still very much, in place at least in this particular part of the reading. You're still, but the only thing that's changed is the necessary changes that your husband is making for you that makes things better at home. Those are the changes that happen. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Well, I felt that you're at home and the home is as you say it is. You're like it's the house is as strong as the wife. Okay, so then now in your with your husband's direct interaction with you, that's the part as he's becoming aware that he needs those changes. He's making those changes. Now, I don't believe that's going to affect how, you may even, I believe it's going to give you great clarity to your feelings for Dr. Ali. Even as your husband makes these changes and begins to treat you much better, not just the housewife, but and not just the house. I mean, just you as a person, much better. I still believe that Dr. Um, Dr. Ali's care for you, and the energy between uh, he and you in yourself. I think I still think that's also very real. I think that's very real. Mhm. I get the sense as the well for now. You're right. Well, for now, I see that you are like taking care, like you're there with your family, with your husband is there, you're at your home. In this reading specifically, when you brought in your husband today, that gave me so much insight. That is very true. I see you there, but he's not Dr. Ali. That again, okay, life there at home gets better, but also so does the your connection to Dr. Ali and you get better as well. So he's accepting you, the fullness of you for what it is. Dr. Ali accepts you because it's about you, because you're you. Hmm. 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 Well, there's a bit of there is a bit of nurturing here. There's nurturing of the dynamics and how that would work. So that's something you both haven't arrived to because like this is one of those things, like you said, certain things I can tell you needed to play out. You need to be put in a situation where, okay, I see you see the husband has made some improvements. Not saying he's made, huge leaps and bounds, but you definitely see a shift that something changed, something for the better. That's easier on you. But it doesn't mean anything about becoming disassociated to Dr. Ali. That connection is stronger than ever, and even more stronger as this all is happening with your husband. With, let's say, be kinder. Dr. Ali and your energy is becoming even more, that just that much more amazing. I get that strong sense, and that's just the truth. That is the truth. And he and you will have to figure out, what does this even mean, these feelings. He and you are acknowledging those feelings. The place where we're hoping you get to very soon is to be able to talk about this openly, to yourselves, so you both can define, what does this even mean. That's where you both are headed, by the way. You both are moving in that direction. There, it's going to come a time where a decision will need to be made. And I believe it's going to be sooner than later. It's going to be much sooner than we might be anticipating. This is something that's not going to take the 6 months left of this year, pretty much to happen. It is not going to happen like that. It's going to happen much sooner than that to define what this means now. Hmm. It, right. Is this worth exploring further? And by the way, the whole purpose of Wednesday is that this is the pad in which this is a liftoff. This is where it begins. This Wednesday's conversation is what we've been talking about, by the way. The moment that that conversation happens on this Wednesday, right? He and you, Dr. Ali, I mean, Dr. Ali and yourself begin to make your journey into the what we're now updated what we're talking about. So the crossroads between Dr. Ali and yourself, but I mean, and I do mean romantically. I want to be very clear. This is the conversation. That is that's the path. You want to say this is the you mean this is that U-turn, that left-hand turn that we need to make up ahead to get to the romantic address? Yes. Abundant. I want to be abundantly clear. That's what this Wednesday's conversation has been about this whole time, the whole time. And but you needed to see this actually happen because you still have questions about, like, is this for real? One, two, doc, what about Dr. Ali? What about both of your situations? And is there going to be an understanding? And then, of course, what if you say nah? What if he says no? All of that. Oh, not right now. Not right. Not. I mean, that because not right. Right now, the only point that's being made is for you. You're special to him, and he's gonna do what he can do with you. You're special to him, and he can what he can do for you with you, like time spent with you and how to spend it. That's going to be his focus. That's his focus. um, he and you will he and you will talk. Oh, no, no, no. Not, I mean, not, and it isn't even nothing about, I'm saying that well before. Well, I mean, I'm talking about, I think it's going to be in weeks, in terms of weeks, that he and you will talk about the two of you and your feelings, it no longer being a secret between yourselves. Like, your feelings. He knows his feelings, but now you two are gonna know each other's feelings very soon, and then you two are gonna have to decide. Okay, are you both honestly moving in this direction? Yes, you two can go slow. You two can go slow and drag it out all across the next 6 months. You can, but I mean, there's no doubt in my mind you both that Dr. Ali is not going to know exactly how you feel about him and how he feels about you, and that he shared it with you. You're going to know how he feels about you. He's not going to make it complicated. He's not going to say, he's not going to play coy. He's not going to say, oh my, I've got this going on. It's so much. And just, I'm in this situation. I'm not liking my home. He's going to be like, look, I'm in a good place. Like, if he's going to say he feels great with you, he feels good with you, and he wants to see where it could lead, because he knows he has feelings there. He knows you're letting him know too that it's mutual. It's you feel it too. You don't know what to do with it, and he's saying, well, you two maybe should talk about this, and definitely it's nice to have the understanding, because now you know why you two are so close, or like really good for each other. Why he does things for you that he wouldn't do for anyone else. For anyone else, he might do it differently. He might move things around, help them out, but he's like, he realizes he'll do just about like so much for you. It doesn't even matter. It could be just because it's you. Like for example, like he said it in his own words. If he knew you wanted to talk to him, he would have been trying to. He would have did every. He'd be moving things around just to get about a minute or two in, just to talk to you, if that were the case. So like this is what he's going to tell you. So okay, so in this reading, so let's read it from the very start, and because I skipped two parts, and then I came back and picked it up. So I do that to get to the points. But okay, so the reading starts out with you living still at home with your husband. So I mean, if there were going to be a separation, it would be, how married couples do, like they both will live in the same house but not be in the same bedroom. Something like it'll be something kind of like that. Hmm. 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 Right. Hmm. 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 Right. Indeed. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. You're okay. Right. Hmm. 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 Right. Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. That's where they stop with the discipline and just start having to talk. Right. Hmm. Yeah. So true. Mm-hmm. Right. Hmm. 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 Right. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Mm. Right. Mm. Very wise. Mm. Mm. Right. 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 No, actually, I do. This I do. This one is from your heart, your spirit heart. This one I do. This one is good for you to get this out because it just confirmation for you that yes, this is what I meant. Um, the the things that he needed to hear, the young girls, I mean, children are intuitive, but in matters such as these, they still need the experience. It's only the experience in that house is the experience that you have. You're the mom. And so you know what needs to be said to him to get, because they can't talk to his subconsciousness. They can talk to his heart and all that, but you reach his subconsciousness. The wife does, and he hears you loud and clear. And that's what I'm saying. He's gonna make. It's not gonna be a magical great leap, but he is gonna make some changes, noticeable changes to make it easier for you. He is gonna do that for sure. It's not meant to change your mind about him, though. It's, you're not going to change your mind about him. We are, furthermore, therefore, the feelings for Ali that, like again, like it only solidifies Ali. It's in, like Dr. Ali is in your life. He is. He's in your life. No, I looked before. He isn't. He comes with a lot of issues, but cheating isn't one of them. Your husband isn't even a is it even not what they call a scoundrel? He's not even a scoundrel. Like he doesn't even prowl the night, prowl the streets, you know, get across town. He doesn't do those things. That's not his. He has his issues and problems, but this one is so far from him. I'm not saying it's beneath him, but it's far from him to do. He cares ab- he cares about you. Maybe he does, like as he said, he's got like lessons that he's always needed, and these are some lessons he doesn't possess. It's gonna feel weird, like you said, the daughters are there, like, mom, but at the same time you're zeroing in on him finally, and you're getting some reaction from him, and then you start. He may not say, "I'm okay, I'm okay, okay," but he ends up just doing the things that makes it better for you. That's what they said. They said it's better for you. He will make changes. Doesn't mean your heart's going to change for him, but he can make home life better for you. Hmm. Even under all of these circumstances, at least for now, I see you saying this reading today isn't forever, but it is for now, and for now is a very long time. It does indicate that. Maybe it represents months, maybe it represents the end of the year. Okay. You are very practical. You're so practical. I asked you, I said, please don't think of the reading like math equation. I said, you're way too smart. You're making this like it's math equation, and like humans, they can do something that's not even doesn't even it's not an equation we know of yet. We're like, what was that? That's not in the book. Um, yeah. Yes. Well, that only time I get staunch about that if you're asking me to do a prediction and what's going to happen next, because yeah, because that's the time when adults will, especially a Western minded, Western adult will, they kind of yell at you. They'll yell at me, not you. And I was like, well, I just want to. If they yell, my point is, even if you yell, at least you got the truth. You'll thank me later for telling you the truth, even if you yell at me at the moment. Yes, yes. Well, okay, so before when we had this, well, let me let you know how it works. It was how long it would take Ali to kind of, indulge like move into place with you. So now here he is moving in place with you. So that's calmer waters there. And now here we are, this full circle again. It's like, okay, now it's with your, with a home life. And I just, the whole point of your husband, right, making life more endurable, it just gives you time to really plan out what separation is like, what it means, to be separated without him or on your own, in any way form that you choose to do it. You will have time to see exactly how you want this to unfold. Mhm. Okay. Right. Good. Right. Right. I am in the wilderness. I'm not behind the walls. The safety of the walls. Myself. The wilderness, as I say, that is the temple, the open clearing, life. Mm. And that's okay because I know that there's balance. There is balance. Not everyone comes from that space. But you know what's beautiful? Gardens are found. Beautiful, tall, soaring trees are found. Reservoirs are found of water, purity in its purest form, minerals. So yes, life can be grand. Life can still be beautiful. Like knowing the ways of raising daughters into becoming women, and this kind of structure and guidance needed, with like you said, the firmness of a father. These things, even if you found refuge in life. You know these things to be the better way. That's beautiful. hmm When I would say it this way: you'll never find, um, like if it were, everything is dependent upon whether if he's cheated, that would be the premise. You'll never find that. You'll never find that. And of course, I can only make things even more difficult, but this one is like the easiest way to say it, because when people are cheating or they have cheated, and then even if it were not going to resurface, there's going to be evidence. So I'm just letting you know, not only right, you're never going to find any like real, like okay, so I okay, I better tell you from how I view. Okay, divorce, separation. I don't view that as taboo. I know some people do. Some people say, well, it's for religious reasons, but all of those books actually speak in on divorce as a good thing for both the man and the woman. It's like if the man is not getting along with the woman, if the woman is not getting, then it says if the woman is not getting along with the man, then let them go on their own way and find happiness and spirituality. There's no one wants you to be in a marital situation miserable. That's not spiritual. You'll find spirituality, which is, I can't be here with this man. So, and then you're the woman in a situation. I don't see this as a bad thing. That's all I'm saying. Mhm. Right. Emotionally. Well, emotionally, women deem, because you women are very much into with emotions. Men, we pretend we're just, Age of Aquarius is changing that. Men are starting to feel, able or allowed to feel and express emotions, but in a masculine way, openly and respectfully in public, openly, right, with their wife, especially with a woman. Men are just now getting there collectively, but women are always have been thought of, being in charge of the realm of emotions. So like, and women do believe, that's who taught it to me, that men cheat and don't even realize it. Like emotionally, men cheat. If they're not cheating physically, they connect and make emotional relationships, even if they're not physically involved with a woman. And that's that. Of course, for women, they said that is a problem for them as well. It's like, oh boy, so women must have they must really. You say women don't control their emotions. They must be master of their emotions, I believe. Because men saying, "How can he not look?" That's the whole. Then the whole room erupts in laughter. All the men are laughing. Men can't control themselves like that. That's not even natural. So we know it's a real thing, right? It's a real thing. And men are just now getting to a place where they're taking it serious when women say, no, emotionally, you get entangled and you get confused and you start thinking that it's something and it's not. And then you're stepping out and you made a big mistake and you realize you made that mistake. Like, don't make the mistake and then you have to deal with it later. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Of course. Of course. Well, and that's the balance of life. Everything is balanced out. Uh-huh. Yeah, right. Right. Well, the good thing is this. As you continue your journey, you start to realize in your heart that if it ever were to take that and you needed that you know that universe is not holding you hostage to misery till to have you figure out how to make misery into your joy. That's not quite it's not quite as it's black and white as that. It's not it never asked that is unrealistic. If God isn't asking you to do that, then how in the world are we trying to force ourselves to do that? It's not natural, right? Gods are supposed to be of nature, right? Natural. That's not natural. Okay. Mhm. Well, in Dr. Ali's path, we have to we okay. So okay, this is not about accountability or anything like this, but this is like a real life flow of like events taking place. Ali made his pass at you regardless, and knowing that he himself is married. So and he would have been okay if you would have accepted his advice. He would have been perfectly fine with it. So that's not something that he's overthinking. I think that he's thinking of cheating as in like frivolous. Like he may say, this one is a beautiful exchange. Like this one is like there's something mutual. He doesn't even put himself out there, but there was just something about his and your connection that's out of this world. It's like whatever you both were looking for, searching for, that connection happened at its center between he and between the two of you. Okay, indeed. All right, indeed. Hello. You said hi. Well, at least you said hi. You dropped in. Thank you for dropping in. Okay, I'll see if I can come on camera. I know you all are like, I know you want me to sit here and talk through a thumbnail? Is that what's going on? Okay. Oh boy. Let me get some lights on so that I'm in HD. Oh boy. Okay. Let me see. Is it like that? Hold on. Okay, video. Oh. Oh, there we are. Okay. Let me turn on all the lights. Okay. I'm trying to get me a brew, a warm brew going on. There we go. Hey. So I'm trying to get a warm brew going on. So, okay. So I got my little lights on. Let me try to flesh myself out. So, yeah, I'm doing calls. I've been up since 3 a.m. taking calls. So I've been very busy. I like to, well, I was requested to come in. And yeah, this was a very good conversation. And, just helping out a client. Um, I'm doing some healing. So she's in a better place. Everything happened as it should. So she's a little perplexed on that. And she's a very rational, I mean, like go by the book type of, like she's book smart, full on family, married, got a husband, all of that, conservative. So I had to really prove myself, and I got them all right as usual, but I'm not surprised, but so this is a rinse repeat moment. So now I celebrate it. Now I have to rinse and repeat. Now I have to prove myself again from, you know, from start, from the very beginning, from the top. Okay. Oh, thank you for coming in and saying hi. That means a lot. Thank you, Mickey Haji, for saying hello. I really do appreciate it. So I saw it and I typed hello. Yeah, I am live. Good. So I am live. I just am just sort of like talking. I've been talking. on the, you know, doing my readings. Doing my readings, via the phone. Of course, the phone readings are healing, and I do it in such a way. My mannerism is like listen to like a podcast, and you can hear like the teachings in the reading because I'm also, stating affirmations. I'm healing, and just to hear, positive outcomes and positive conversation. It can be uplifting, and you can use that as as a good thing. It could be a good thing to hear. One second. A pleasure. Donald here. Hmm. Okay. Sure. A pleasure. Welcome. Yes, absolutely. Mhm. Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Right. Hmm. And you do. Hmm. Hmm. This is the one we like. This is our number one, right? This is the one we like. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Ooh, yes. I love it. Okay. 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 I like, well, they do sound fun. They sound exciting. Like this, also, this sounds like it's flowing in a positive direction. They're letting you know. Like, as a matter of fact, for you, mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Okay. I have a feeling you set the bar pretty high. I have a feeling the bar is set, and I also have a feeling that they do like you. And, as you say, but it is gonna feel like, okay. So I like how we said it before. You're going to you're going to compete, and but you're going to compete so well, and they're going to like you. Well, they already do. They like you, and and of course this next one, the next one that we also said that you said there would be, specifically they said, so you'll go to the interview and then you'll be called to a second one. So we believe you're going to be called to the second one, and this. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Oh, okay. I hear you. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. Mm. What I, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm listening. You know, mm, I like this vibration. And like you said, it does give me a very surface feel. Like sometimes you do the sense and it's something internal. This one does feel very much like it could be external. Like it could be you. It feels like one. It feels like soothing massage. It feels very much like you put it over the skin. It feels good. It smells good. It does something maybe for that energy. Because there's a maintenance for the chakras, but then there's the body itself. Mm, okay, okay. Oh, and also made me think of electrolytes. Like they say, like the body has natural currents. It made me think of that. The first one made me think of that as well. Mm-hmm. And mm, okay, now this one definitely still feels this. Well, it feels similar, but with a little. Now this one does. Right. This one does do, it goes a little deeper. Made me think of like the third eye. Kind of still like massage, but like deep massage. Like into the like dip into the muscle, not just for relaxation, but for like maybe like you said, rehabilitation. But I like the idea that it feels like my third eye. Like the center, maybe centeredness, maybe it feels centered energetically. I like this one as well. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Right. Hmm. Now that you're adding this, if you like, when you just say adding this one, the purpose still the same, but this one also feels like now it's moving towards I can replace the cologne for a little bit. I see him like wanting to use it to go out, like if I'm going out. The one before it was more like personal use, like around home or the office. But this one feels like, I can put on a nice dress shirt, blue, but particularly it's his energy color, by the way. And then I can then some on that over my cologne or replace my cologne. Like, this is nice, nice. This is nice. And I'm hearing him say, yeah, this is nice. How is this? The cinnamon, specifically. Yep, that's the one. I saw him adding this to. He had a blue. I saw him just the gentleman's blue dress shirt. Blue is his power color, and he adding that, and it's amazing. It is amazing. The scent. I like. Well, I like the cinnamon particularly. Okay. Now, is the Tonka, is that associated with the second one? Like the second scent, I mean? Or that's two different things. Okay, so there's one that's bean. Oh, no, there's two scents. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so okay, that's what I meant. Okay, so they're separate. I like both scents. It's just that they both. Okay, okay. Now you're gonna bring them together to make one scent. I got you. I'm following you. You're instructing me, but I'm following with your process. Okay, so now that they're coming together, it gives this definitely feels very much like. Hmm. Okay, I liked it on its like as it were, but like you said, maybe it's like you're gonna bring them together, maybe for a different feel. Okay, got you. All right, you're switching. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they yeah you know what they keep showing me, by the way. They keep showing me this sort of energy where he's like his multi-purpose. Like sometimes like you like I'm going out, I'm going to smell great. I can use it. Use this and then use a little bit of cologne if I wanted to, or no cologne, and like additional scents. Then on top of that, I can even use this as like a therapy situation, like a massage, like a shoulder massage. Maybe the wife or someone to do this with him for him. That's what I get from these combined, or when they're all when it becomes one. That's what I saw. Let's see. Let's see what comes up. Any visions here? They're letting us know that they said he's okay. I get this sense he gives me the impression that he's quite sociable. Like he's very much in a social space and people really like to like come over here, and like everyone is like kind of huddled, and of course all the scents are the wind is to and fro. Everyone, oh, that's a nice cologne. That's a nice, what a perfume, all of this. So I believe that any since that would, I would say definitely, he favors, of course, the masculine scent. So something like you maybe a little ruddier, a little bit more deeper. Um, scent, like like spice over cinnamon. Like you said, cinnamon sweet, or like a spice. A spice is more his taste. Uh-huh. Rum, yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. That rum did it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, he likes that heavy scent that we use the word musk, but he likes it lighter. Like he would pick, like if there were like L in a road, he says harsh or hard, like loud, medium, smaller. He would go with the lighter, or either, and as much as he would go up the scale would be medium. He wouldn't go like deep musk, like burly, like out of the wooded area. He wouldn't choose that one. He would choose something like a medium to lighter. Okay, okay, good. Okay, okay. You're nailing his sense. Yeah, it's complementing his the aura that he projects. That's him. That's his personality. Oh, by the way, Spirit World said this is going to become a custom, but of course, well, it's coming from you. It could be for anyone. You might like this sentence. Other men might like the sentence. Maybe women might like it, but it's definitely he likes it for sure. Mm, yes, yes. Mm, wow, wow. Hmm. Right. Okay. That makes sense. Natural. Yes, I get the sense that the one that you're like, oh boy, the two to work for, yes, they are going to want you. Like it would be difficult, but like you said, it's great for extra. It's a great exercise. It's a wonderful exercise, but of course, my favorite. My favorite, the one that you're working with now. I really like that one. Mhm. Yes, I have a feeling you will. This one is the one that starts sooner, definitely sooner than August. Even this middle one seems sooner than August. That one is just much late, like you said, later in the year. I think the two that you're naming thus far are definitely the ones that are sooner. Mhm. 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 I'm seeing a windfall of wonderful things coming, like a windfall of like things to gain. I know success is on its way, but this is happening like a windfall. Like they would cut. We knew as like they're gonna attract to you out of nowhere, and then it's like, hey, come work with us. It's like a windfall. Like okay, like giving you a ton of information to ponder between now and when, now like in the future. Like, by the way, this, and this. So if we move forward, how does that sound, right? It's like a nice conversation and you feel that you're being tied into things. So it feels right. That's what I'm getting from it. Hmm. Okay. Yes, I love those. Hmm. Will do. She knows that's my favorite Danish. She always said that you know who I am. Your favorite Danish woman. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. To be honest, like when they started talking about people, like that was a first uh preference that I heard was Danish. I'm like, what's a Danish? I'm like, you'll know. That's the first like introductory to things. Uh-oh. I was just thinking about this the other. I was like, you can't, as an adult, like it's hard to like talk about things, but it's like, well, that was my experience. It was you like with trusted, mature people. And then my brain had it worked out. The way they revealed this to me, I was on The View, and I was telling someone on the panel, I was like, hey, I slid them a red paper that represented a button that said, look, keep us in check. You're gonna be the moderator. When you slap your hand on that red piece of paper, that's the red button. That means we have to come back to our the time that we're in now. We're as being old. So things like we're all in this group, and he's like, yeah, this, I did that, and this. And it was like, that's as far as you can go. It's like, but I'm talking about myself. Nope. It sounds weird when you say it. If you were like huddled and full of 20s, yes, maybe you you might let it slide, but not like a panel full of you all. So it's like so I was seeing this play out in my brain. I was like, yeah. I think you all got the innuendos. There's like some innuendos in there, like. Okay. All right. So I need to go check on something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Um. mm-mm. So she's she has like a, what do you call it? A secret hobby going on. One of my clients, she's blessed with the gift like to work with herbs, and she knows she didn't realize I guided her to where, because she basically she has she's very good in chemistry, like as a like a student. She's always been really great at botany. She knows like all the very sophisticated, like she knows the scientific names of herbs, flowers, what's in it, scientific names, and she knows how to quantify it. She knows how to make it into oils. In fact, she's purchased the equipment to do it just from her lovely home. So she has a lab, and she doesn't even know, she even knows how to make her oils and her perfumes and now her colognes 100% natural, which that's her goal, is for it to be in the highest percentile of the 90s to 100% natural. And then of course she's learning, like she even sometimes she has to have like certain ingredients or something sent to a lab, and it's like they can test, because some things, okay, like something I didn't know, like roses, besides the thorns of the rose, I always imagine is like that's pure. Yes, apparently too much of it in an oil, it does something, and that's not legal. So she had to remove. She could use art. They said, well, you could use artificial rose. So we had to come up with scents that to mimic the scent of rose. We accomplished it. She says this smells exactly like rose. So now I have a gift where I naturally know what scents are for psychically. So I know, like, so anyway, she does, it's like she'll do mixing, and of course I'm connected with her, and we go do this thing that we do, and I explain what it does. And what's interesting is that she researches, or she has like she researches what these are for, and she says, yes, it's for this. It says it, and she's reading it word from word, and I'm like saying, this is what it does, this is what it's for. It's like, it's what it's for. And so, but I'm doing this. Some of it would be claircognizant, because my claircognizant ability allows me to have knowledge or tap into knowledge otherwise that I wouldn't know. Claircognizant. There's clairvoyancy, right? There's clairsentient, but then there's claircognizant. Claircognizant is like, that's like my major, because like they say, you have that one power, and that's my one. But when I tap into this one, all the other ones kick in as needed, like the clairvoyancy as needed, the clairsentience as needed, the psychic ability, the inner knowing as needed. I will sometimes, like, when you see me doing readings live, like I'll start shuffling, but I'm already talking and about the things that I haven't put in any cards down. That's my claircognizance, and then I'll eventually start, showing the cards. By the way, since I've turned on the light, yeah, it looks nice, actually. This is OBS, by the way, just if you, in case you want to know. It's the free version. see. Um, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay. Okay, so now it is looking nice, I think. Now what's going on? Okay, okay. Good. I'm gonna be respectful. Something just happened, but I'm gonna be respectful. Oh, okay. So now I get it. Yeah, I definitely need to turn on my camera more. So when I turn the lights on, yeah, it looks much better. Now, yeah, okay. I just need to turn on lights. I'm now I'm seeing what you all are seeing. Perfect. Okay. All right. Hmm. So what's even more interesting is that my clients are just seem to be glowing right now. They're getting the top, like the highest of everything that they want. So that's good that they're getting the highest. Like good things are happening with them. They're moving into motion. That's what we want. We want them in motion. We want them to grow as people. It's nice. So she's I believe that she's going to enter this would be the highest company. It's a return for herself. Also, this is like a soul tribe type of company, and there's a way of going forward or doing more within the company. So this is very favorable, and I'm also wishing her the best, that everything plays out as it should, which of course I'm thinking that it will. I don't think she'll have any problem whatsoever. So that's the way that I view it. Um, let's see. Okay. So basically, what's going on is that we are discovering how all clients will get to the highest point that we need them to be, which, of course, that's working by they are working with me. And so they're getting all of the energy, they're getting all of the materialization of things that are in aligning them with their with yes with their heart, with destiny, things to come together as to unfold, to unfold. And it's good to show, to demonstrate these psychic abilities openly. So these are psychic abilities that are demonstrated in public openly. So yes, I am reading with my clients, but also I'm doing this publicly, openly. So it's like, it's good to, okay, it's good that people talk about the gifts, but the big question is, aren't you tired of people talking about the psychic gifts they have? Don't you want people to actually demonstrate the psychic gifts they have? So that's why I like doing my readings openly and publicly, because I'm showing that yes, I can talk about them, but I'm also doing them. I'm performing, utilizing the psychic abilities. I'm sharing that psychic gift with my clients every single day. So that's what I like about my gift. It's my gift is solid, and of course, I don't need to say it. I should say it more often, but my clients have been telling me this, for the past 2 days. It's like I'm meditating. I'm saying, okay, did we forget anybody? I mean, even the most challenging, now they're not difficult clients, but even the most challenging of clients are like, I have to admit, like everything you said was right. We're talking about people who like, they follow the formula exact. It's in their blood. Like, look, I am all about mathematic logic formulas. And yes, I'm like, they're calculating this has happened, and it happened exactly the way that I did, the way I said it would. There's even a suggestion where I said you don't have to bring this up, and I said, but then I detailed. I said, but you could do. I proved to them you're always in charge. You can do anything you want to do. I said, if you do, this will be the result, and that was the result. I said the end game is the outcome is for you to meet. They're going to meet, and exactly said, well, when? I said, Wednesday it gets canceled out. It's like before Thursday, not Thursday, but it's going to be a Wednesday. And they say no way, because I mean they said no, 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 no. And it's like I had to. It was like yes, he called. They said it won't call this week. Call this week. Just come. I had to call and tell you you're right. He called this week. Like there's no reason for him to call. In fact, it's like he called. I can't trust anybody's intuition. When it comes to my psychic readings, I mean, I now I can you could tell me like, hey, when you're hurting. I mean, I'm not talking like that. I mean, like you're like people's intuition. Oh, well, he would never do that. He has no reason to do that. I'm like, watch this. Um, the fact that wanting to talk, direct, wanting to meet. Of course, I chose Wednesday versus Thursday, even though Wednesday is everybody's out, the persons who she would go to see, but I said, no, you're there to see him. He's there to see you. And so he suggested, and through his suggestion, so it wasn't like she planted a seed, like by suggesting. No, he told her this would be this would be better, and he even told her why, because everybody will be out, so we can clear, we can calm the seas before they get back. Details. See, my readings, I first of all, publicly, I'm actually having a full-on conversation live. So I'm demonstrating my psychic abilities live with details. Mm. So that's where we are. That's where we are. This is where we are so far. Mm, 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 mm. So okay, so eventually, okay, so I am learning how to, um, do my thumbnails. So this one was a little difficult, uh, signing on, and I do need to add a thumbnail. So I did. I took some little. I was over here like doing little cues so that I can capture the thumbnail later. So that's what I was doing. I was holding the phone. I was like doing the cards like this, holding them up. That's because I'm gonna go back and get the thumbnail from those videos. So I need to start like, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of those videos next, where it's me in it, and I'm like, check this out. Hmm. So that people will know that, and I'm stressing definitely demonstrating the psychic ability. We need to do more of that. Demonstrate the abilities. Mhm. Mhm. So it's gonna be nice. So what? So I was like, so what do they have? My clients are saying, so what do you have for me today? They start the conversations like that. So what do you have for me today? They said it, but they always said, it's, but this one says, you know who this is. This is your favorite Danish woman. Shit. And then we do our thing. She's in better spirits than she's been. Hmm. She's in better spirits. So I like her a lot. I'm pretty sure we would have a lot of fun if we met in person. She and I. But also I bet any of my clients. I think right now it's favorable, especially my gentleman. I don't know if my gentleman ever comes across me. I've said this before. You know, he, he's going to like take me out to a big dinner. We're gonna be like like relax, laughter. I don't even have me doing readings, things like that. He probably like get me concert tickets. I know I have a feeling that would be what would happen. Even with a few of my other ones. Most of them, even if I said, "Oh no, I don't need anything," they're still gonna be like, you're you're visiting. Come. I know. I have a feeling that they're gonna like do all kind of stuff for me. They be doing all kind of things for me with me. They be like getting me things. Take like, did you eat? And I just could feel it. Mm. And like, I'm full. Come on, we're just getting started. I have a feeling they're gonna go all out because I told um another friend, uh arranged marriage. She's Arab, and she says, and I told her, I said, come on, I'm everybody's favorite Jen. She got. I said, I know that's bad, But yes, I'm everybody's favorite. I'm your favorite Jen. You can talk to me about anything. You know, she knows that I'm not gonna just like tell her a bunch of fluff. I'm not gonna like send her on a bad. She trusts me. In other words, she like I'm gonna treat her like a sister. You know, she knows I'm gonna take care of her. I'm not gonna steer her, tell her wrong. And she's always says, "You can correct me if you want." I'm like, no, I'm not. And I opened up her mind. So she is, though she is Eastern, and though she is a Muslim woman, a traditional Muslim woman, and she does believe in them, you know, the one, you know, submissive. I'm making her like, now that I got her talking, she's like, she has daughters. Her daughter's like, Mom, don't talk to, because you know they start up raise them young. Mom, don't talk to Dad like that. That mom, you know, you're not supposed to talk to Dad like that. And Dad is like, I'm done. He's like, I quit. He was doing the most. And this conversation, but now, I mean, he did it all. He did all the Western things, acting up. A few moments with this Jen, I'm about five. That my Jen self is like over 5,000 years. Now he's like, I'm gonna get in contact with your daddy. I'm gonna tell your daddy. Like she's like, my daddy's like 80. He don't even tell my daddy I'm not a young child. He can talk to me like she's full on like traditional, like arranged marriage, like real like Muslim. She's for real, but like for real. She's like, you don't even call him my daddy. My daddy 80. You just tell me like it is. I'm not a child. And if you don't want to act right, like act like a man, like you have daughters, we have children, and be respectful. He's like, talk to your dad. There's a few conversations, with me, and I'm a Jen, you know. So, but I also said that he's gonna begin to make proper changes, and he will step in and be the dad he's supposed to be to his daughters, of course, and to his wife, my client, and for himself. These are just some things that needed to be imparted, but without saying, trying to convince her, this is her journey, her life experience, and she's making right now, you know, uh, she needs judgmental like empowerment. She needs empowerment, not uh, right now, just uh, sabotage is all around her. So she needs empowerment. Some people they need a water hose, not a lecture. She needs a water hose to put out these fires. That's a nice way of saying. She needs to eliminate certain things that are threatening her personal well-being. Because her personal well-being, then she's always making sure that everybody else's well-being is intact. Her children, her daughters, uh, her husband, her house. Like empower her to take care of the things, to do the things that she does, which is reign in her house. She will do it automatically because she already knows what to do, how to do it in her. And it's like, but you gotta give her the tools. Give her the tools, like what the guy does. I mean, in marriage, he gets her the tools. She does it. So of course, later on, I'll be doing some work with her energy. You know, put my little abracadabra to it, my little put my Jen into it. That's what that this came from. I said, uh huh. let Donald Trump take office. I'm gonna be like the genie, like like all his wishes is my command. Like fine. That's what I got. That's what I'm branching that. I mean, it's original, but I got that's where that came from. But now I just switched up the words. Yeah, now I'm her Jen. So I do it for which you've already begun doing the work. That's why we're seeing these revelations. I mean, right down to the date. That's what I wanted to get so good. Where I very okay. So when I was young, I wanted to be so good that I could hone in on the day, on the timeline, which I'm able to do. In fact, as I'm reading, I literally am feeling the vibrations of the events playing out on if you want to describe it as a timeline. I even know when it's gonna happen, what next is gonna happen. Like yeah, there's always the things happening in order. Like I can give you a lot of predictions. I even know what's gonna happen first, second, and to third. I think there also the reason why I'm so good at that. Those we have to arrange the sentences. Okay, so every time people like if I take a class or there's somebody teaching me, it always applies to my psychic abilities. So I always thought of like arranging sentences so it tells a story. I always thought that was like putting things in order. You have to order the sentences in the proper I guess conversation. Those are fun. And then it shapes a paragraph or it tells a story. What's the other one that whenever they started teaching, like when you read something you're able to predict what the author is going with the story, and you're supposed to be able to do this with any story, like with fresh stories. And it also teaches you how to read very quickly. It's like a method, but you're able to sort of predict what the author will do. It's like that does sound kind of strange, like extra something extra, but so I took it literal. I took it as literal prediction. Then, of course, not to be confused with when you're writing and you're making predictions. I thought that they mean real predictions, like psychic predictions. So I would write up. I've written papers where I would write it perfectly. It was perfectly understood. That's what got me into trouble. They're like, you don't know this because I made a prediction. Like, well, what about making predictions? And it's like, oh, that's quite not what you meant by prediction. You mean like like hindsight, and then you make a forecast, a rational forecast, and that's what they call a prediction, proper for a term paper. And so we both learned the hard way. I learned what she meant, and my professor said, "Well, you gotta bring it down for us idiots." She literally said it. I'm quoting. She said, "You gotta talk it down, bring it down for us idiots." And I was over there at the far corner of my desk, and she came all over, tiny little thing, came pouring in. I was like leaping for the ceiling because that wasn't the reaction I was expecting. She walked all the way because there was two other people who were like observing her. And she worked all the way. As I was having a paper, I told you, see, this was in this 5 o'clock news. See, and it's just like I'm gonna choose a topic. I'm gonna help you, but she says, mm. I'm gonna have you do a different one and a different topic completely. And I did a process. I like technical things, things that are, you have to draw it out, take you a long time to do. So I said, I'm going to choose the process writing style. She said, oh, no, 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 you're not going to bore me to tears. I gave her a process paper on molds. She was like, now I'm going to make you write another one. By the way, I wrote that.
So I had to write another one that was like due in like hours. So in terms of writing like three papers, I wrote it like in a week's time. Basically, I was like, so I know way how I got through it. I was like, okay, she's directly working with me on every single process. I said, okay, what's the next process you want me to do? This process, I had to do a comparison process, which was like, like a like I think it was a cause and effect. So it was a comparison process, but it was like a cause and effect. But she says the last time she says okay, she says okay, entertain me. That's pretty much what she says. She says this is boring. Now entertain me. So it wasn't about me writing a perfect paper. It was like write something interesting now. Write something on like comparison and cause and effect. Do it. So that's how it was like. It's like I became like an anomaly. That's what happens with my teachers. Either they become fascinated or they're like trying to get trying to usher me out somehow. So either people are fascinated or they're like. But one thing is for certain, everybody's be like breaking rules. I mean, that was a buck of a system. Like to have me do three papers all on personal reasoning why to do and why we kept having to switch to method to method. But then I processed it to get through it. That well, at least first of all you have direct assistance in learning like accurately, correctly how to do each method that I would one day want to employ for like if I write a book or do something like an article or want to write something important. I know how. And so then I begin to feel like when she would say, do a lot of writing, keep writing, and utilize all these styles, all of this, that someday it was going to mean something. To this day, I'm not as organized as she suggested. Like she's like keep baskets, keep your paper writings in order. I have like these huge journals. So I have like dozens of these big journals that I use and I write and I write and I write and I write some more. And which is becoming a thing, you know. I keep all the formulas, so I write down the formulas and so I have these like pages upon pages upon pages. That is for I'm preparing for to get the channel to memberships and of course at the same time keeping clean. Um, spiritually hygienics is important so that the energy is clean. And right now I'm at the place where it's very important to be correct. So I kind of like have to kind of like, okay, this is in public. Oh, there's another thing I was thinking about. It's like, it was playing in my head. It was like, well, hold that thought. A pleasure. Donald here. Sure. A pleasure. Welcome. Absolutely. And how would we like to begin? Certainly. However you would like to begin. Well, I never do yes or no because it's my upbringing to always answer. But it's a proper answer though. That's what I meant. So I mean, you'll be able to detect a yes and a no. Okay. hmm Okay. So I would love to hear your question if you feel comfortable with moving forward. Okay. Okay. Okay, got it. Well, let's take a look into the reading and see what comes up. So, what I could see in this realm, see what the spirits naturally tell us. What I could see in this space is, I see the mirror, I see synchronicity. Okay, this is I sense that there's something that you kind of like been waiting for a minute. It's been a tough route. So it's like to finally get a result. This is a good thing. It's like, okay, I've had to deal with this. I've been working on this. I feel like you're ready, and that information is actually available to you. I'm seeing this cycle. Here it feels like you're like there's in your pursuits, you're getting a confirmation. I get the sense of a yes. I get the sense of more like a result that's saying is beneficial, like a beneficial result or an alternative means in order to getting to the ends of what you need, what you want to see happen, what's beneficial to you. They seem very personal, and sometimes often they show like reflections of you. It's like you're looking into a mirror. So I get that strong sense. It's like I want this to happen. I need this to happen. It's like an identity element as well. The spirit world is saying it will indeed happen for you, more or less. Um, Sometimes I get the strong sense that this took much contemplation or thought in, and also it felt like maybe you've tried different things to get the result that didn't work before. I didn't hear I didn't hear the first part of your question. Well, so I want to go. So I have to. I'm going to answer it in the way that spirit was right. Spirit is saying you're looking into the mirror, identity, the results that you're seeking, but most importantly, spirit is illustrating that something that a way, a means to going forward to having the right procedures done. That's going to be from their side. That's going to be more like in the medical realm that this can be reach the highest where they say the results to come back as something that is beneficial to you because like they're saying that there's many ways that they've looked at this, and so there's many ways they could have approached this, like many alternative ways, but you're like, look, you waited long enough, you need to now know, you want to know. So what I'm saying is to you today, the way that I'm allowed to say it, okay, is this: they're wanting to work with you to help you through this process. Already, we knew that was medical. That's why we said you're looking in the mirror, looking at the self, observing the self. But we had to use those kinds of words here. I mean, that's what they want. So we're just letting you know that the people who you're working with are going to align and assist you in this situation to get you through it, is what I'm saying. That's what happens ultimately. Oh, okay. That we're telling the spirit world is tell. That's why the spirit world. This now you're in the psychic. part. So the prediction from the very start is you're going that puts it into the future receive a healthy result back. That's saying, okay, now you know that you're going to have the ability to go forward with life and and be your best version of yourself. It'll be the answer that you're waiting for will be something that is beneficial to you. That's what we're saying. What I'm only able to share with you in the spiritual language because I have to be very careful with my words because that is the nature of the practice. So it's the doctors have their work and I know I have my work. They got their work cut out for them. But I trust spirit. I know this is very close, like this is very serious for you, but the spiritual guides are definitely letting you know that now that you are take it's like you're taking on this journey, and a journey it is, but you're taking it directly to where it should go. It's like you've already tried all the other way. This pathway to working with these specialists, that's important. That this is what is allowing the healing energies available to you. When they get back to you and say, okay, this is what they can do. This is what they will do for you or with you. So that's what I'm picking up on. Well, of course, the what they say, the outcome that they're suggesting is that you are to receive the healing aspect from out of all of this. You do begin to work through the healing. You do begin to your journey to go forward. That is the result that comes across as beneficial to something that you will work through. Mm-mm. We know how to answer. That's an easy test. Okay. Uh-uh. They're snooping again. That was not a real call. I caught that. I called him out on it too. I called them out on it too. Because I did do a medical. See, that's why I don't like. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the part I don't like about working with psychic companies because they're not. Even if they are, they dabble, but they want to. They like, they're seekers and searchers, and they buy the companies we join, but they listen. They like my teachers, which that was my conversation. They get interested and either they draw me, pull me in, or they push me away like that. They draw me in. They want to know like how do you do that? So I did a into medical intuitive. I knew where it was going. I was like, don't slip into mm-mm, real readings only. And besides, it acts, and it allows. I always felt that they tend to move the conversation to risque elements, and I block all that out, protect my energy. So I said, this was just I don't want to, I don't need to share with you how I, when it's real and it's legitimate, I would have been straightforward, but I was intentionally like, you tell me, like, I'm not here to speak that way to you. In a test, that's not, I don't think it's very fair. It doesn't, it's bias, and I don't think it's energetically healthy because it doesn't feel good. And I don't see the real reason for that. No. Anyways, called him out on it immediately. Stay away. That's why I said, that was an easy test. No, because before which would have been our last reading, I did medical intuitive, and I told the person exactly this is what's going on. And so every new feature of my abilities that I introduce, they always call in and like trying to check it out. I'm like, I don't like that. Hmm. Because then there's like they kind of like overstepping. It's like somebody trying to take charge of your ability. Okay, oh, I didn't know you do that. Oh, you do that? Okay, I'm gonna take charge. No, it's mine. Like you don't like they don't want me knowing their back end, their tools, how their tools work. I don't want, you don't need to know how my part of the partnership works. You just need to know that it does. I don't have to teach you. I don't have to write articles about it, send you a book on it or send you paragraphs on it. I don't have to engage you in test readings and let you explore as in like a laboratory research part of your business. I don't like that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I'm like telling you like company secrets on my side. They got me they ruffle my feathers. Mm-mm. We're gonna get you shuffled. We're gonna shuffle the cards. Don't worry. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, it's too much occult feeling. Like I'm gonna see what I can find out. I'm like, no, stay on the sideline and shut up and just watch the miracles happen. I do like public demonstration, but that's not a public demonstration. That's like because I'm working with your clients, you have access, and it's in the dark. I get nothing out of it that's meaningless. And they would if it's averaging, they ruin your average by calling in like that because they don't stay the full average. Of course, I mean that is if you speak in averages in terms of money, because it's like 5 or 10 minutes of them BSing like like playing on the phone and being funny and being all the dark funny that you can imagine, like the risque, trying to bend the conversations and have a snicker, and people laughing in the background, and they're very noisy in the background. And I call it out immediately. I'm like, no, I was like, oh, that was an easy test. You figure it out. I know all my readings are excellent. Or they can also call and like, as a lot of, people you work with try to undermine your work, but all of your actual clients are like celebrating you and they're like, well, how do they work and deal with difficult? What if the person says, oh yeah, your reading, I didn't connect with it. And it's like, well, first of all, you're not even real and clients are not behaving that way, and that shouldn't be a test, for you to go out of your way. It's kind of like uh, flipping someone off and saying, test it. Oh, I flipped you off because I wanted to test you to see if you flip me off back. If you flip me off, because I flipped you off. I was just testing you. Uh huh. No, you meant it. Because then the power dynamics, you meant it. It's like, okay, first of all, you have to acknowledge that all of my clients are giving me 5 stars and are like celebrating me. All my predictions are coming true. By the way, I'm working under you because you already have they already have a machine. They're supporting, oh, they're famous over there. So they have their psychics, and here I am glowing. So I'm always careful. I'm like, you're trying to ruin. Don't mess with my business. Like mess with your own. Play with your business. Don't play with mine. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Right. And they also will things that you don't want to do. They also the other thing they do, they disguise it as the test readers are I noticed they're doing it in their research in their because they write. This company writes. And my other one, I have to write myself. So that takes a lot. But they will things that I say is off limits. They're that friend if you say, "Don't do that." Ooh, don't do that. That the one that is supposedly your friend. That's the one thing now that that person wants to do. So they're like that. So if I say, "This is an off limit topic," the very next thing they're gonna. So the minute they said they know, everybody knows I don't answer yes or no. And I don't even like the sound of that, yes or no, because they also speak innuendos, hyperboles, or not hyperbole, say, what's the word? Uh, like they make, okay, hold on, it's called homogeneously. They speak homogeneously. They also will subliminally speak. A lot of people do that. You got to really pay attention to people because sometimes like they're speaking, but they're not really speaking to you. They're speaking to a vision, and they're just speak. So they're speaking over you, not speaking to you, but they're speaking to a vision, and you don't know you. And sometimes the identity in that vision is not good for you. It's not something that's beneficial to you. So sometimes they speaking like that, and then on top of that, they want you to say yes or no. But but it's not a yes or no. They're gonna have you saying yes, which that means you become in agreement to whatever they're. It's like forcing people into a declaration with you, rather than asking, would you please hear my declaration? Can I share my? And then you explain to them why this is important to you, or pray. Can I pray with you? People force you to pray and force you to submit in prayer, or create a covenant, force a covenant with you. So they're forcing a yes. So I've also, or they force the no they want, whatever the response is, or they take your yes and your no and make it into and add it into something of their own creation, their own mind. So of course, in college and university, you can't. I always view every psychic question as a short. It's a short answer essay. So I can answer the question very quickly, but it's in a short, like an essay form, a short answer essay form. And of course, everybody knows you better decipher by the tone if you're being real. If you're a real client with real issues, you'll know what I mean. So yeah, I hate all of that. So yeah, so I'm like, first of all, I know right off the bat this is real because I don't answer yes or no, and I'm not going to. Next, that solves that. I answer a full sentence, so you know exactly that this conversation isn't to come in And just because you work, you're some sort of a, you're part of the business, don't call me playing on the phone. Don't do that. So, because I don't find anything humorous. There's like, then you're not, and then you're in a passive aggressive situation on the other end of the sword. You can't say, hey, look, I don't really like this conversation, or hey, this conversation. Your style, your approach is making me uncomfortable because they're like a tortoise ducking their head into a shell. Hey, I'm here. I just want a reading. No, you don't. You're there playing on the phone. So the other one is, furthermore, like to uh, centered over. They do a lot with they pass it off as medical questions, but to be depraved, degenerates, and I'm not. They said don't tolerate that. The spirit will say don't tolerate that. So I definitely like call that out like immediately. Clients don't do that. Clients do not do that. Young people, out of curiosity, will try it, but I always set the line straightforward. Like the guys know, no, like immediately they could tell. Just get your reading, get the answers, and transcend. Same with the ladies. Like, so they're very respectful. So I know, like, when it's like, no real person, no real client is calling, asking these type of question. And usually when it's something as serious like this, and it's with the women, it's a woman, even a man, they're gonna okay, look, flat out, this is what's going on with me. What do you see? They're not gonna be like, come over here and fill around. I'm not coming there to fill around anything. I don't. And they also try to test to see if, oh, you go into the bedroom and they say, see, I don't do it because I know also they're writers and they do writing of all the kinds. I'm like, I'm not playing creative. Uh, it's like I'm playing mental mind board, like a mind board. That is psychosis, all on its own. That's all wrong. Traumatic. Yeah, like you're pretending. It's like forcing someone to brainstorm. They don't even know they're brainstorming for you to write out material for your personal gain. So they're full of. I mean, they're full of being gaslit. Oh no, 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 no. I caught on to that. With since the other past company, it's like I'm not helping these people like that because they get it wrong. They're like, I'm I'm not. I used to say, oh well, that's what they do. They work, they help, and I'm not even saying that, even though I do know that writing to all of your clients is a lot of work, and it comes from somewhere. I'll be honest with you. Even I be like, I have to like make myself do it. I have to force myself to rhyme. It's a lot. So, but I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm not. For my safety, probably from now here on, I have to be like this because I've experienced it so much. And also they show up when the relationships get sophisticated. Like the last reading I just had, where like if somebody's married but they're having a real human experience, meaning they might kind of have questions about someone other than their partner. Oh, they always come in the middle of dark stuff, like girl when especially whenever I tap into my mediumship abilities. So that's when they get dark, whenever that's why I always feel uneasy. I'm very selective who I share the mediumship abilities with, because when I do it, I people like want to show up and they start acting. Then it goes from degeneracy um to it's like what's the other word? I just had it. So it goes from degenerate to just depraved. Like they go into depravity. Like they like go dark. So I have to be very careful. And they try to like do the whole gaslighting thing. It's like this is not testing as in like, checking up on things. This is demented. That's what I want to use. Demented. They get not they yeah, they become not depraved, but demented. They're trying to maybe create depravity, but they go demented. It goes degenerate to demented, and they start saying, they're trying to creep into the okay, yo, you're medium, and then they get, you know, they're trying to seduce in that area. I'm like, no, 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 I don't want to play. Don't play with my gift. My gift is not a ball, and it's kind of like, okay, do I come into your offices and start hitting on the keyboards and touching things? Don't come in and start touching things in my realm, in my business. No. Whew, got all that out. So that's the inside, like the politic. This is about as hopefully that it never will end well if it goes deeper than that, because I've actually gone deeper than that in politics, and I'm telling you, that's where the that's when we say, all right, depraved now just straight up toxic. You want to see the malevolent sides of human beings? Just keep going in that direction. Everything discussed when Scorpio and Leo are toxic or being toxic in business places. That's where to find it. And I've experienced it, and if I can help it, I don't want any more of that. I definitely keep my professional distance. I've even got the ones like, trust me, once you have me and know I'm gifted, you don't even have to invite me to a party. Now, if we get together and we want to do like a photo shoot, that's fine. We do like a video. We marketing purposes, but we don't have to party together. I'll be fine. As long as I'm reminded to show up and service the world, which are their customers, my clients. We're good. We're good. So okay, so I think I got all that out. Can you? Okay, so I did it. Guess what? I didn't project out to y'all. I actually to the world. I mean, I projected to, um, I guess the right people this time. I'm on it. I wonder what's going on with the moon, because I was usually the moon is in a very aggressive sign. Let's check this out, because I was on that. I nailed that an annoying sibling, and you're like, I'm gonna hit that. I mean, yeah, hit that sibling with a wet towel when they walk. They always playing a whop. That's exactly what it was like. I mean, that fast. How like you're just on it. Like I'm just waiting. Whack! They didn't have time to even blink. That was what this was. Um, it was so fast and sharp. I literally had time to say that test was an easy. I said that test was easy. That was a test. Oh, Aquarius. Moon is in Aquarius, but it's right there with Pluto. It's conjunct with Pluto. There it is. And my and Mars is in Leo. Oh boy. Other things are in retrograde. Vesta, Juno, got the whole um, Scorpio thing going on. Okay, not it's kind of quiet there. Scorpio a little bit peaceful. If there's the astrological climate. There's a climate right there. Okay. usually it's always calm. They say it's calm before the storm. Yes, it is. So it's calm. Like usually, so after a test reading, by the way, it gets calm. So it'll be calm for like at least the next hour. Like usually, I'll get all the superior readings, and somebody dark comes in. That's not a real client because they make it everything awkward and weird, and or everything I just was rattling off about. Um, then there's a calm for like an hour or two. So, but I'm here till for I think 2 hours and a half, something like that. But yeah, they're training me for you all. So when you all do step out of line, now I'm unleashing on y'all. When y'all do step out of line, I'm gonna know what to say. I'm getting my practice in already. When y'all challenge me, and you will, I'm gonna be like, you'll be like, what? What do they say? This is where your grandparent says to me, actually, it's my grandfather. You're gonna meet your match. My grandfather always was rooting for the other person. It wouldn't matter what it was. If we were playing Scrabble, it didn't matter. My grandfather was always rooting because my grandfather always thought of me as like like always making it by the what they call it by the skin of my teeth. So if it was a race, he would end up saying, "Boy, they were hot on your tail." He wouldn't say, "You did excellent." It's like it always was to. It was always like it was like backhanded. It was like by a margin. But that's more like my grandma would say that too. Yeah, barely. Like or someone got one over on me, like a lick on me. Boy, my grandpa would get a kick out of that more so than me. You know, find a way to get out of a chokehold. My grandfather would not celebrate that. He would be like, "You it looked like you was pretty stuck for a minute there. It looked like See, I told you, you can't take on everybody. That's the way he talked to me. So I'm like, but we didn't have the word haters. Oh, you're just a hater. We didn't have that word yet. Like, no, I'm just listening and I'm like, I can only see it now. He's like, you're gonna meet your match someday. He keeps saying what you're gonna say. One day you're gonna meet your match. I'm like, I'm trying. I'm broadcasting out there. I'm like, I am the best. DJ Khaled. And then what's that guy on TikTok? I don't know his name. He says, "That's not your line." That's it. Oh my gosh. I had another grandfather that was like, bring home all the trophies, like no matter what. Like my other grandmother would be like, now that you've run, now let me take you home and feed you. I gotta get my boy home. I want my boy now, coach. And I tell my coach, I want my boy now. I know you done used him up now, and I'm gonna go and getting back to health. so, so like they had it right, but like this set of grandparents, like showing me, like teaching me all about the other side. It wasn't all like, yeah, everybody's not rooting for you. I just want you to know that. So that was the difference between both of my parents, these parents and this set of parents. Absolutely. So yeah, which is no, I don't think of it as a hard thing. What do you call it, like uh, although it is kind of life and death. I mean, it's serious because they are very serious. You know, if they can, people pen it off and it's like laughing until someone, they say, until someone gets hurt, then it's even funnier. So like, especially if, if I were to be on the recipient of that, yes. So definitely I've taken this serious when I say, but I do like the challenge. So, and I know that, but in my brain, it's like, you better win. You know what happens to you if you lose this. So, because it's like, then it's, but it feels even like this is like as close as it gets to like when you imagine someone, winning, I guess a team like winning a World Cup or winning a championship. Donald here. A pleasure. Donald here. Pleasure answering your questions today. And how would we like to start? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Understood. What I can see is I definitely see like working together, like as you say, you submitted, it's like she's agreeing with you, but it's unspoken that she wants a new direction, something new, like the expectations of between the two of you. It's like a relationship that's going to happen between yourselves at a distance. I see a long distance forging, realizing that she, loves Mrs. and the meaning of being together. What does that even mean? When you say certain things. Ultimately, she's gonna want to work on things like to heal this over and try this again. Oh, by the way, just so you know, you probably already pick up on this. She likes the craziness. She likes the insanity in the romance. She likes the crazy, wild, like I say, the wild uh, uh, tornado cycle of romance. Sometimes it gets out of hand. Because that's like the passion in that. That's when she really feels connected to you. Because she can feel everything like it's in ultraviolet. It's like she can see it and sense it. She loves all of that about that those times. And you're like, sometimes you're like, can we calm it down just this once? And so now she's gonna follow your lead because it's not intending for you to leave. She's like, no, she loves you being there with her, and she has the access to you. She's not sharing that right now. So right now that doesn't even resonate. But that's the part that she's not. I mean, she's going to work with you and on this, but she's going to be very quiet. Even expressing her feelings like love. I mean, I could say yes, she does. Well, it's very clear to me that she loves you and wants you in her life, romantically as her partner. Um, but for her or for yourself, you might. Well, she's not saying anything at all. But the new romance you two are going to embark on, it's going to happen from a distance. But everything you need her to do so far, what you're expecting of her, she'll do it. Um, this is definitely going to be an emotional connection. Mhm. Right. Well, the distance. Right. Exactly. Just the term separation. I'll give you that. It just means that you know people sometimes to work on things they have to take a step back, and so at a distance you'll take a step back, and then you're going to see like what does it mean, like the circles you say, well it's like they become expectant, like like you have no choice, you have to do, you're obligated, but then you're like, wait a minute, you're a person, and you want to be valued, you're faithful, you do things together, you run your castle, your home the way you see fit, and you give them equal grounds. So you're like, please, they say you want to be treasured and desired and things like that. So sometimes people will take a step back, and that's even as a distance. Even if you, let's say, well, we maybe not being as together intimate. I'm talking about maybe it's we literally had to just have some time just to reflect, to show ourselves how much you say you both miss each other, things like that. That's where this is coming from, and we're just letting you know. All this is saying is, all this whole time, she and you have a powerful emotional connection that is so strong. That's not going anywhere. So it feels like you two are still in a relationship, just at a distance. That's what I meant. Hmm. Oh, time wise, let's go straight to it. So in the timing of this, I love the things that fall in time. Now I know, first of all, for you to think of this idea is a perfect timing in itself, because um, the Venus in Aries draws for people to attract, but also it helps people to feel. So the things you need she to feel, she feels you. She hears you loud and clear. So okay, and then time wise, beyond that. So I see you. Oh, wonderful! Libra comes through, channeling that Libra, that strong personality all year long. Definitely, she is, of course, you to each other's soul partner. This feels like as before we bring in summer. So like I'm working with this in like May, June. So end of June, mid June, middle of June, particularly mid June. So June, between now and June 15th, shy, less than a month, less than a month, hmm for things to resolve. Because, first of all, everything is happening in your space at home. And by the way, as I'm reading with her, she's still very highly connected with you and in communication. We're just talking about like getting back together as companions and, living and thriving in life together. Yeah, she's just gonna, she is going to express her emotions and everything. She's like more in sync with you. She feels like no one knows you better, and you don't, and no one knows her more than you do. So it's like what else? Like I mean, she's gonna be very fixated on you. In other words, to like get this resolved and get this resolved in a timely manner. Like she may go like as far as long as she needs just for you to see where you are, but I believe that by the end of, you want to say like next week or the end of this month, which is less than 2 weeks, okay, she's gonna, as you would say, start saying, okay, what are you two doing? What are you doing? And then of course, what you emotionally letting you know in words what she needs to see happen, what she wants, and identifying what you also feel and what you're saying and what you want. June. They said by June. So this is like this 2 week ordeal. This first week might be, it may long needed rest. It might be kind of peaceful. But then the second week might be like, okay, it's like you're wanting to connect. Both of you are saying it. Okay. And she's all about action. So yeah, she's definitely about action. She shows up when the activities start. When it goes from You two are directly communicating, and then it's like, okay, well, you can drop in, drop by. She's like, okay, meet up and meet halfway, etc. That's when she becomes highly active, wanting to reemerge, and you get all the love vibrations that that she still loves you, all the wonderful insights of wanting to continue a companionship. Indeed. Okay. Indeed. Yeah. Another test reading, but that's a proper test reading. He wasn't playing around. They also do that. So that was a man test reading. You know, they can't catch me. They be trying to like do a. The best way to test would be like if they were going to script, they had to script what like a story, and I should read the story. Now I could accept that, but like a gotcha moment type of test, that's not a test read. That's just causing me to like say, what if I start calling you all out? Not being a legit client. But yeah, even though that was a nice conversation, as was the lady's conversation. Her conversation was nice, but I was able to see through it. Um, that was still a very lovely conversation. That was a nice conversation. Hmm. Yeah, I like reading for the guys. Although, yeah, if we were basing this off of averages, he would oh yeah, they don't, but they kind of go with averages. Yeah, he would have messed up my average, so that's kind of a no no. But he chilled with me for a little bit. So, but both of them are equally important. So I'm not saying, oh yeah, I enjoyed him more than she. I'm not saying that. Okay. Okay. I think they caught it. Yeah, that was these were test readings. Hmm. 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 He has oh yeah, another thing that they do, they will emulate what actual clients have said. Like my client happens to be a woman who said, "Oh yes, I have two children." He literally said, I live with somebody at home. I have two children." So test reading. That's the other one that they do while I'm spilling it all. And I hate that. Like, don't pretend you're my client. Well, the receptions is like, which I caught this before it even had the chance to get out hot out the grease. So they know I have a particular client that the moment I hear that's their name, I'm like, yippee. And then they said it, and I was like, it's like it was like a natural rebuke. I was like, that is a false spirit. And no, it was not my lovely. It was not. It was a different. It was a different lovely, but it wasn't. And I was like, I am not amused, and I am not surprised. This what you did. I caught it before you even had a chance to serve it. So yeah, like, oh, we have this person for you, your favorite, and like, no, it's not. It's not the one. You tried it. You tried, trying to catch me off guard, trying to throw me off. And I hate the coattail. Like they try to. So if a good reading, like if I'm with one, is great reading, they try to run them together. That's why I let the phone ring at least like if like 2.5 rings or 3 rings, and just before I think they're gonna hang up, I'll pick it up too, because I don't allow, you can't piggyback. They, okay, so the experience is like a roller coaster. I mean, just because someone gets things doesn't mean the next one does, even if they're like back to back, because like a roller coaster. So my client could be high up, wonderful, and then this one could be on that on the low tide, and then then it can be high tide, high tide, high tide, low tide, high tide. Some days it could be all low tide. Oh, thank goodness you called high tide, low tide, low tide. So it can go like that. So I think of it so that I stay sane. I think of it as like real life. Is real life that way, where people are kind of riding on people's, energy tail? Like, no, it doesn't work that way. People have to bring their own energy, and um, I mean, I can only tell them what's going on in their real life, and they're gonna know. I mean, they're call okay. So people call me to call psychics out who tell them all kinds of things. They call them out on it, but they're telling it to me. They call them out to me. So why like ask me to mimic those practices when the way that I am reading works and it gets people to answer and they keep calling back and it's like, see, this you're always right. They're like, if it wasn't for anything else, I would absolutely call the other psychics, even just to hear them talk. Like they may even sell it better, because I'm honestly they're like I'm believing them and they're like relying on me to change their minds on it. And they know more about it. They're the ones that read with the person. They have me like they like make sometimes how to put me off into second opinion type of like this psychic said this, so what do you say? Oh, I can't stand that. I bet that's like parents feel like, well, I asked dad or I asked mom, and now I just need to ask you. I need to run this by you. So what do you think? As though is my reading not equipped enough for you? But I know if they okay, so if those who are that charismatic had my gifting at my skill level, they maybe one day, psychics will be allowed back on television. It's been a long while, and they've gone over the time limit. Usually, it's like once every 10 years, 15 years, 20 like years have gone by since there's been a legit psychic. And I love those. I love when they have the psychic who's running around, you know, doing all of the, just all like following behind the celebrities, doing all the little sit down interviews. I love watching those. I'm like, that's me. That's me. That's my representation of me. And then they start, doing shows on stage. I love those times, but we haven't had that in a long time. But yeah, if they, or if, well, I don't think I want their. I'm not gonna ask for anything that I'm gonna like. Be careful what you wish for. Mm-mm, I get it. I get it. I'll say it this way. Since I'm clearly not gonna ever fit that, because I would be self sabotaging that, and and I just typically and purposefully ruin it for everybody, including myself. But is if they had my accuracy with their charisma, they they definitely would be. Well, we're talking about them, okay? Yeah, they would definitely have like statues erected to them. Absolutely, they would. They would. They would be able to do anything. They could go on television. They could. They could They could go around the city just reading random people. They could do all of that. They could. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I have like 2 hours, somewhat, to go. Whew. What was I look? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, maybe. I had to come back. Hold on. Okay. I had to check on y'all. My bad. I was kind of doing my own thing. Okay. Mm. I'm smacking everybody. I didn't smack the woman. I didn't smack the man. That sounds so cruel. I gave nobody zero. I gave nobody zero chances. Zero is a number. Zero is an identity when it comes to a human. Because you have 0 point. Mhm. So, hmm so, but you can mathematically prove that uh, zero is an identity when in terms of people by looking at the basically it's based on the value of so if you take the year and let's say you have someone who is under the ages of 10 years by 10 years, so that's a child, right, in the single digits. And then you have particularly, especially like a baby, so we'll say even someone who is not one yet. Okay, and then you have, let's say, some an adult, or any young kid, anybody above ages into, let's just say, like 1 or 2. So when you take a person's the age they are, and you okay, so let's say you subtract it's the year that the person is born, and you subtract it to the year that we're currently in. So today will be 2025. The number you're going to get is always um, would be 120. No, it's 100 and I think it's 125, meaning this century, or meaning or this age of one, and or the new it goes by century. So like this century is going to be one, and then 25 means this year. So, and if you have the zero, which would be the people born in for the over the past 6 months, they come up as zero, and then it's 125. It's representing a person that's still regardless of their age, that is still that person has an identity. Zero has an identity. The child still has an identity. Just still needing to have uh, his or her first birthday. Um, and then, of course, why would you need to prove that? Well, if you take anybody's birth date, it's the year particularly of their birthday, the year, and subtract it and put it towards the current year that we're in, everybody is you get the same number all the time. It's always going to be a one in front of it for our generation, and then the year that we're in. So next year it'll be 126. Next year after that it'll be 127. This year is 125. So it's always right. It's a fun little thing to do. It's a fun little trick. Yeah. So yeah, my mind is sharp. I'm just like smacking everybody. The woman called, the man called. They both just got smacked there. Like bam, bam. Like, look, you're a test reader. Bam, you're a test reader. Bam, thank you. be, be gone. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna close this one out, and I'll try to do another one. I need to do a thumbnail, actually. Let me see.